These are my top 5 foods for runners. Before we get started, I just want to say that this list is not exhaustive, nor should you just consume these foods alone, although the fifth one is very interesting. They should be consumed as part of a balanced diet, and for further information, see the NHS link in the description below. There are a brilliant variety of foods out there that will enable you to fuel yourself correctly, but here are my 5 favourites. In no particular order, we are starting off with eggs. A great source of protein and dietary fat. Previously criticised for their high cholesterol content, which has now been debunked by many studies for no correlation with cardiac risk. However, if you have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, then restricting your egg intake is likely to be beneficial. Nonetheless, for most people, eggs are a great nutritious option. Fat is often overlooked in the world of endurance, as it's not our body's primary source of energy. However, unlike carbs, fats are essential for our body. They are required to absorb certain fat-soluble vitamins, which play an important role in normal functioning of our body and the regulation of key hormones. Next up are bananas, arguably a runner's favourite snack. They are a great, quick digesting carb source that can provide you with that energy kick to get your run started. Additionally, it's one of the most versatile fruits that can be made into smoothies, healthy desserts, or sweet treats like these protein pancakes. It is a great source of potassium, which is a vital electrolyte responsible for muscular contractions, and that includes your heart. Another great source of energy for runners are oats. These are a great carbohydrate source to fuel long endurance workouts. They provide a high fiber content, primarily in the form of beta-glucan, which helps increase satiety and therefore suppressing appetite, which is good for those wanting to lose weight. Oats have been associated with lowering blood cholesterol and reducing risk of cardiac disease when combined with other whole grain options. Whole grains should be a staple in everyone's diet, as it promotes a more sustained energy release for your body. Next up is dairy. Specifically yogurts, milk and cheese. I've chosen these products particularly for the high calcium and protein content they provide, which is good for muscle recovery. Now, certain food sources of these can be higher in fat, so you might want to watch your intake of these. The average adult needs about 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day. One glass, which is 200 milliliters of milk, contains about 25% of this recommended intake. Now, if you cannot tolerate dairy or follow a vegan diet, then other sources of calcium are available, such as almonds and tofu. Whilst the likes of leafy greens such as spinach are also recognised for their high calcium content, they tend to have a lower calcium bioavailability, basically meaning that less can actually be absorbed by the body. Calcium is vital for bone health, and therefore hitting the daily requirement ensures that bone production exceeds bone destruction. This is particularly important for endurance athletes, especially runners who put themselves under a lot of strain from repetitive impact with the ground. Consuming a sufficient calcium and vitamin D intake, which aids calcium absorption, can help reduce the likelihood of stress fractures, and one study found this can actually be done by up to 20%. My last food, and arguably the most important for them wanting to maximise their ability of improving their endurance, is beetroot. Their high nitric oxide content has been a big talking point recently, with newly developed beetroot shots aimed to maximise its full potential. Nitrate has been found to promote vasodilation, meaning that more blood can flow into the muscles, therefore reducing the oxygen cost of exercise, and in many cases increasing the time it takes to exhaustion. Whilst research is still ongoing in this field, there is certainly some suggestion that beetroot can improve endurance. That's if the required dosage is taken within a certain time frame of exercise, which will be on the screen now. Okay, that's my top 5. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favourite foods are for endurance.